Hello everyone, welcome to Newcastle Fans TV. It is the instant match reaction for Newcastle 1, Wolves 1. 2 points massively dropped for Newcastle tonight. I'm not going to lie, they played well, the team played well, but it's just small mistakes that have cost Newcastle today. That should have been 3 points. That should have been 3 points, and I'm not going to call it a moment of madness, but there's 3 silly errors which we'll go on about for Wolves' goal, but get your comments in for the next 12, 13 minutes before the fan reaction show where you can get your points made across tonight. When you look at the team, there was one big change, and that was Martin Dubravka came in for Carl Darlow. Obviously, that goal for Wolves, which we'll mention later on, had a lot to do with Martin Dubravka involvement in this goal. But on the unchanged side, I was still worried about Joe Linton. We've seen 18 months of Joe Linton. He's not really improved for Newcastle. I was worried about that. But the rest of the team, to an extent, I was happy with. I think Jonny Shelby, we've discussed in the past. Do you think he's actually warrants a place in this team? Again, I'm not too sure. But first half, I thought we were brilliant for the first half an hour, 35 minutes. I thought we were really, really good. Shelby spraying the ball. Almiron was a threat. ASM was a threat. And Isaac Hayden actually had Newcastle's probably one of their best chances when you look back now. A short set piece, and it was a lovely cross from Willock. Free header, Isaac Hayden, well, not Isaac Hedden. But should have scored. You're free, you're about 7 or 8 yards out. You've just got to get at either side of the goalkeeper with a bit of pace. Missed opportunity there. And then Miguel Almiron, I thought he was brilliant for the first half, and then obviously got injured. Was substituted at half time. Broke the Wolves' defensive line. Had a chance through on goal. He's got to score. He's got to put us 1-0 up, and it's hit the post. On his left foot coming in, he's got to score for me. He really has done. And Wolves were basically what Newcastle were at Molineux. We just let them pass the ball. I think at one point we had 76% possession in the first half. I'm thinking, this is a bit different. And Wolves didn't really look like they caused much of a threat. They had their odd moments in the first half. Adama Traore is Wolverhampton Wanderers at the minute. He really is. When Raul Jimenez isn't available, he is then a massive, massive threat for Wolves. But I thought we did okay. I thought Kraft did as well as he could with him. I thought there was only once where I thought Traore got the beating of him, and he played it back, and I think it was Jonny on the edge of the box, and he just hits it wide. But that was the best that Wolves had in the first half, and Newcastle looked comfortable. I thought ASM was really causing Semedo issues on that the right back, obviously our left hand side, and it was just frustrating to see no killer cutting edge. You heard it on Sky today, Andy Walker, the commentator, brilliant, up to a point, but just no cutting edge, and that's when we miss a Callum Wilson so much. We haven't got the Dwight Gale, Andy Carroll debate. They're not good enough for the Premier League. Let's put it out there. So when you're missing Callum Wilson, he probably puts one of them away. He puts one of them away. You look at the Everton game, he puts one of them away, which is just really, really difficult to mention, really. But obviously, we'll talk about Miguel Almiron getting injured just before half time after putting a challenge in on Traore. And Fraser comes on, and Fraser, who wasn't brilliant last week, with a lovely assist. First time cross after a corner that gets cleared. And Jamaal Lascelles, who I can just see who's doing his interview now, I thought he was superb. Jamaal Lascelles, fantastic header, scored against Wolves last year at St James's, scored again this year. And Newcastle 1-0 up. Newcastle 1-0 up, and you think, right, come on, let's get through this next half an hour, 35 minutes. Be steady, be really resolute at the back. And if we get a chance, especially going forward, put it away and kill the game at 2-0, because Wolves, for me, weren't really a threat going forward. Let's talk about the goal, though. It's almost I'm contradicting myself. Wolves weren't a threat, but let's talk about the goal. And then we'll talk about your comments in a second. Right. My first issue is Jamal Lewis. Got to stop that cross. You've got to stop that cross. Doesn't get the cross, we can defend the corner. We can defend a throw-in. Brilliant. And then we can deal with it. Second point, Emil Kraft's just been substituted. Isaac Hayden's been putting it right back. And there's just no communication. Willock lets his man go past him too easy. Doesn't really see him. And by the time Hayden gets to, I forget who scores now, which is not great. But Ruben Neves, sorry. It's too late. It's too late, and Dubravka has to save that. He has to save that. 99 times out of 100, he saves that. It almost like he's trying to lift it up. Just all you got to do is clear it, get it off your line. You don't have to tip it over the crossbar. When you look at his hand's like that. Get it sideways, and you can push it out. Just push it out. If you save that, we can kind of go, well, you've done your job. Martin Dubravka has made 3 errors against Wolves now. One where he tries to catch it above his arms. Molyneux, if I was there, Willie Bolly. Last year at St. James's, made a mess of Wolves' goal, and he's made a mess of this goal. And it's just really, really tough. Really, really tough to take, because I thought Newcastle did more than enough in the first half, and then had a couple of chances in the second half to really put this game to bed. The best one coming to Joe Linton. Joe Linton, of all people, after Jacob Murphy does one of these little mazy runs, lays it off to Joe Linton, has to score. Fantastic by the Wolves defender, cleared off the line, but he has to score, Joe Linton. Just has to. You know, we can talk about the £40 million price tag. I'm expecting a £4 million striker putting that in the back of the net. Gale puts that in. Carroll puts that in. Maybe I'm a little bit harsh, but you've got to do better than that. Callum Wilson puts that in. But really, really tough to take. Let's get a few of your comments in, which has just been going mental, the comments. So look, Jane Atlanta, played well, glad for any result, even 2 points lost. Injuries have me deeply concerned. Yeah, ASM as well, Jay. Great shout. He was injured as well. His looks worse than Almiron. I think Almiron was a bit more of a precaution. But ASM, when he gets an injury, he's never really out for just a week or 10 days. He's out for 3 or 4 weeks. And we've got 3 massive games now. We've got a point today, 2 dropped. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. Andrew says, Joe Linton off a 0, Almiron ASM out now. With no Wilson means we are heading to relegation, boys. Andrew thinks that's it for Newcastle. It was a better performance today. Joshua says, sick of it. He was so shaky today. He didn't play good and give you heart attacks. I think maybe talk about Dubravka there. He did have a couple of nervy passes. Is it understandable if you haven't played a proper game in God knows how long? I don't know. It's a debate. Like we've all been. I think I would say 80% of Newcastle fans have been saying that Martin Dubravka should be back in, and I don't think he's going to get dropped for the next week, because he made an absolute world-class save right at the end to keep us with having a point in the end from Fabio Silva. What a save that was on the crossbar. But first things first, does Darlow save Wolves' goal? Yes, he does. Does Darlow make that save at the end? I'm not too sure. Kevin says should have won. Yep, I agree. George, cannot blame Joe Linton this time again, or right back asleep. I think it was just the timing of it. Isaac Hayden's just come on with Kraft. It's just taken off, and I think it's just trying to get yourself in and around the area of, right, what do I need to do? Where do I need to be? I think it just take a couple of minutes, but in that couple of minutes, Wolves have scored and got a point. Kraft was awful. Disagree, which I'll touch about in scoring the players. Saint-Max injured again. I know. Thomas says Shelby was good. I think Shelby and Lascelles were brilliant today. You can flip of a coin between the two of them to see who's man of the match today. I'm not too sure, to be honest. I probably would have just given it to Shelby today, but we'll see what we think. The lads saying that they're scoring the players. If ASM, Mickey and Wilson are out, we're in trouble. Yeah, Bruce is the worst manager ever. Mike Cat would be a better manager. I don't think, to be honest with you, I don't think you can complain about Steve Bruce tonight. I really don't. I think the players gave their all. The players played for the manager today with a lot of pressure on him. And he'll be scratching the head why he hasn't got 3 points, like a lot of Newcastle fans will. Dale says Kraft was decent today. Smash that like button, Martin. You're an absolute trooper. Smashing the like button. Remember, if you with Manscaped, you can get 20% off any order on manscaped.com using the code NFTV. Great sponsor for all your products. You can get newspapers as well. Newspapers, t-shirts, boxes, everything with Manscaped. Let's have a look. Got to take them chances. Yeah, Ricky's spot on. You've got to take your chances. Had 3 good chances in the first half. 2 good chances in the second half. I think actually Shelby had a chance on the edge of the box, which for John Joe Shelby's got to do better. Let's have a little look at a few more. Lascelles, great game, great leader. He was not happy with that result, and he shouldn't be where we are. I think he says, is it? He shouldn't be where we needed that. We needed 3 points. 100% we needed 3 points today, and we haven't got it. Kenny says Darlow would have saved that. I think he would have done. But does he save one at the end? I don't know. So frustrating we haven't got the points. It was there for the taking. Wolves came for a point and they got a point. They did. I don't know if there's Wolves fans watching, but they're 12th, 11th in the league, wherever they are. They only need a win probably to keep them up, and they're probably thinking they're already safe now. They're probably looking for a top half finish. I wish that was us. I really bloody do. Lewis can't stop crosses, not his game. It needs to be his game, Steve, because if he doesn't, more goals get conceded. Your full-backs have 2 jobs. Stop crosses, stop the player getting past you in terms of the defensive fight and going forward. Help as much as you can. That is the modern-day full-back. I'm not comparing it to Man City's. You like your Kyle Walkers and your Cancelos and all that, but you've got to do the basics, and the basic is do not let your man get a crossing. If you block it and you get a corner, you've done your job, and then we look at the corner. Simple as that. But I thought Lewis was all right today, apart from that error, really. Craig says, when you lose your 2 key players, Maximin and Almira, I feared the worst, and that they make equalise, and they did. We should have had the game sewn up in the first half. Almira should have scored. Yeah, I mentioned that earlier. Bruce has no identity with style. Again, I was a bit confused a little bit with the fact that we didn't have a real outlet. I was a bit concerned with that. But when we go 1-0 up, I expect us to defend. I expect us to defend a little bit better with Wolves' goal. Look, they had chances. Traore was a nuisance. But I thought we dealt with Wolves pretty well. I really did. That's why it's so frustrating, to say the least. Dubravka been out months. What do we expect? I expect him to save that. He's our number 1. I expect him to save that. If Gale doesn't start instead of Joe Linton, I think Gale might have to start if we've got injury worries. But you've got Ryan Fraser, who did really well tonight. Last couple of comments before I have to say that, like the last bit of the review. Tom with the last comment, nothing but pure luck can save us. We talked about before Wolves, we need probably 8 to 9 points. We've got 1 out of the 4 games. 2 wins and a draw. That's 7 points. Can we get that? Yes, on paper. West Brom's a huge game. You're looking at them. We're 9 points ahead of West Brom now with a better goal difference. You're looking at 4 games for them to catch us up if we can get a draw. We need a win. We need a win next week, and we've got a good chance. But if Almiron and ASL are out, that's the difference between Newcastle and West Brom. I think both teams are quite similar at level, but I think we've got 1 or 2 players that are a little bit above Newcastle and West Brom where they are right now. And if it's, say, Jacob Murphy and Dwight Gale, I think West Brom will go in as favourites for sure, in my opinion. But it's either it's 2 points dropped for tonight, but if Fulham don't get anything tomorrow, you've got to look at it as a point gained, because we'll be 4 points clear. So we'd have that extra game on Fulham, but I'll be a massive Crystal Palace fan tomorrow lunchtime. In the next minute and a half, we have got the fan reaction show. If you want to get involved, the link will be in the description of that video. So as soon as you leave this video, go on to the fan reaction show, get your points in. I'll be back with scoring the players along with Sam and Adam, and then we've got Lee with the last word. And that is all your Newcastle versus Wolves fix on Newcastle Fans TV. Smash the like button and get on the fan reaction show. It's going to be interesting. Newcastle 1, Wolves 1. I'll see you later on.